What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. This is Leader, the only one. We're here back yet another week. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Bible Talk. How do you do? Welcome, peace. Welcome. I'm back. We are back, I should say, to yet another Wednesday, second one of the year. We are on our series of friendships or friends. We're part two, and I am super excited to talk today about it. But first and foremost, gotta say hi to my peeps. How are we doing? The one and only, the co-star of the show, Mr. Adrian Indolos, baby. What's up, man? How are you doing? By the way, say
What
hi
up?
and
What
tell
up?
me your good news too, brother. Come on, shoot.
All right. So first of all, hi, welcome everyone to episode 35, right? 35. Uh, for our Spanish friends, right? Um, Alex, you'll have to, or sorry, leader, you'll have to correct me. But anyways, yep. So welcome to episode 35. I am, I'm doing really well. Physically, not so much. I mean, like my allergies are kind of kicking my butt right now, so I just have so much pressure, like in my sinuses. But my number one tip, if anyone is suffering from some sinus pressure right now, is eat hot Cheetos. It's a natural remedy, right? Homegrown hot Cheetos, and you'll start crying, and you'll start like sniffling, and all of a sudden, all that sinus pressure starts, just leaking out of your nose, right? Because and your eyes apparently. So
Yeah.
uh, I've eaten some hot Cheetos today. It's kind of helped, but I think it's time to uh, have some allergy medicine in order for me to sleep tonight. But as far as like good news for me, today, actually, not even 30 to 40 minutes ago, I announced the launch of a new project that I'm doing as a photographer and filmmaker. Um, didn't have time to come up with a name. It was like Project Rebuild or the Rebuilding Project or whatever. And then out of nowhere, Project Phoenix just came out of my butt, out of my mouth. And yeah, so we're calling it Project Phoenix. And basically, for all the entrepreneurs, business owners, small business owners, marketing directors that are out there listening right now, basically what I'm doing is that I am launching a every single month in 2021, I am giving away $2,000 of free digital marketing. So that's I want to produce a commercial video for you. I want to take pictures of your company's headshots or your what do you call it, product photography, whatever it is that you need in order to rebuild your business after everything that happened in 2020, or if during 2020 you lost your 9 to 5 job and you're like, hey, you know what, like I think it's time that I make the step and make the leap to be a business owner, and I'm gonna start this new venture, and you don't know where to start. Well, the first thing that you need is photos and videos of you doing whatever it is that you have a business for. So whether you're in real estate, or in John's case, I don't know what he does, but it's pretty cool. um, and then I know it has something to do with funeral homes, something like that. But I know he does sales, he does marketing. So if that's your thing, if you're a small business owner, or if you're on the marketing and sales side of your business, then you can email me, right? I'm extending this to all of your viewers, leader. I'm extending this in order. So email me at Adrian, Adrean, at Adrian Indolos. That's INDOLOS.com. So it's my first name at first name last name.com. Or if you're super confused, you can just text me 214-865-8348, and I can I'll text you my email address at that point. So email me Adrian at adrianidolos.com, or text me at 214-865-8348 for a chance to win $2,000 of free digital marketing.
Hey, I kind of want in on that, dude. When are we
Do
gonna
you?
do like a cool like digital marketing stuff for Bible Talk, brother? When's that happening?
I mean, again, just send me an email. Let me know how COVID has affected your business, at
Oh.
adrian@adrianindelos.com. And
Certainly
at
no
8 p.m.
business.
Central Time next Wednesday, I'm gonna go Facebook Live and make an announcement. And the cool thing is that like I'm doing this every single month. Like I want to help as many small businesses as possible. So if that includes Bible Talk, that includes Bible Talk, right? So
Bro, boom.
but any small business owners that are struggling or just need help getting back on their feet, like more hands make less work. And you know, I've been blessed since this is Bible Talk, right? God gave me these talents to take care of my family, but also to help his people, his community. So I'm extending my helping hand to my fellow business owners.
I was good to see you live talking about that, and how was that your New Year's resolution? That's pretty dope, dude. Helping
Thanks, man.
people always and through the whole year. That's pretty big stuff. Okay, Mr. Jones Fumbly, good luck topping that, brother. How are you gonna give $2,000 a month to business that is in need? Tell us all about your plan to give away a lot of money.
Well, I have a cat,
Okay.
and
I
that's
like
my
it.
good news.
We can only see a paw. Oh,
He hates this so much. He really, truly hates it
what's
with a
his name?
passion. Percy. That's my good news,
Percy.
though. I had a cat. He was napping with me all day.
Okay.
So it was really great. Yeah, that's it.
Boo. How
Well,
we go,
John,
but
hey, if you need me to fly out to Florida, and if you win the digital marketing package, I will fly out to Florida and produce your commercial for your business for you.
there you go.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. It'll be Percy will be the centerpiece.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
It has to be.
He'll be
Well,
a
fam,
knockout.
good news for me, I guess. I'm excited, man. I have my first pickleball tournament this Saturday with my brother-in-law. So shout out to you, Kevin, if you're
Whoop,
watching.
whoop.
I don't know if you're watching or not, but I am stoked, dude. And then they just announced that the Southwest Regional Championships are gonna be hosted in McKinney in like 3 months or something. And so we're trying to be really, really good so we can qualify and compete in regionals. We want to be just really, really good. So I'm excited. I'm pumped. It's been raining this last few days, so I haven't been able to train, which kind of sucks. I hope it doesn't rain tomorrow so I can go and play. But I am pumped. So I don't know. That's kind of my good news. Kind of simple, easy, but hey, fun. Bro, Travis is in the chat, bro. Look at him. Hey, fam. If you need prayer, let us know on here or in Discord, or private message us. We love to pray for you. We have a great team that love you and love to pray for you. Come join us after Bible study or Bible talk on Discord. We love to meet you. Come meet us and get to know who we are. I'm gonna spoil it for you guys. Travis is the coolest. Adrian is the funnest. I am the silliest, and John is the extra. So that's kind of how it goes.
I'm not
and,
extra. You're extra.
Why? What? Did I
Yeah.
say that out loud?
No, I'm not extra.
Fam, how are you doing with a year from you? How are you doing? Give us some good news. Hit us slap, boom, 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 boom with them good news. We want to hear it. I said good nudes. I meant to say
did.
good news. Oh my goodness, my
You did
bad.
I thought you said this was a PG channel.
It's 100% a PG channel. My bad. You know,
Mhm.
it is what it is.
That's
Oh,
He goes.
Sarah.
Oh
Where's
man.
Sarah? You gonna get in trouble.
I'm going. Guess who's gonna be sleeping in that couch tonight? Hey,
Well, it's not me.
extra read about it. He goes, fam, just gonna let you know how this rolls. This is Bible Talk. Welcome everybody. Welcome. As usual and as per usual, I gotta explain we gotta explain what this is. This is just a group of us friends who love each other, who like each other, and somehow still kind of live with with each other's being or self being of being crazy, especially the one on the very far end over there. And we power through, and we loved it. And so, welcome. Glad that you guys are here. We're gonna be talking about friends today. That is correct. The man over there, way over there, troublemaker, and that's okay. But we're going to be talking about friends. And so what we do is we just sit here, we open up the Bible, we talk typically about like a topic or something. That's how it's been. And we love to hear what you have to say. We love to hear your questions. We love to hear your comments, or I guess read them. We cannot really hear them, but it is what it is. And kind of we go from there. Now, granted, this is not a place where we discuss. You find yourself another place to, where you can go out there and argue against people and tell them what do you do. But this is not it. I'll tell you though, if you join our Discord and you wanna text the troublemaker on the far end, you are more than glad to do so. He loves to fight everybody. That's his deal. He's not a boxer just because he's too skinny, but he will be like the ultralight champion of the world.
Yeah, but
in
have you seen
boxing.
his wingspan though? Like, come on.
He can reach, right? Superman span.
I got a really strong core too.
There you go.
Yep.
And having said that, fam, let's talk for a little bit. How y'all doing? I want to hear from you guys. Chat, where are you? Why are you so quiet? Why is Travis the only one?
Chirp, 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 chirp.
The only one who said anything. Can I get like an amen in chat? Can I get like a 1 in chat? Can I get like a pog champ? Something so that way we know that you're alive, bro. Like, what's happening? Y'all are dead today. I know that we started 2 minutes later, but my bad. Or 2 minutes late, I should say. My bad, I guess.
Excuse. That's no excuse.
No excuse, man.
You know that we're on every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central.
Okay, if anyone is gonna not say anything, thank you very much. Get out of this stream. See you later. No, just kidding. We can jump into our Bible talk. What are you laughing at, John? What are you having so much fun over there for?
Oh, I'm just listening to you be abrasive to all the people that love watching this content.
Yo, the wife just commented with whatever this is.
Dead. She's dead.
She's dead.
I think she's either dead or she's laughing.
I don't think she's laughing. I've never seen that emote sent to me ever from my wife before.
Wow.
That's because you're not that funny.
Didn't you get the no-no list? We're not allowed to say that. I'm just kidding.
Oh, sorry. Was
We don't
that
get a no-no list.
was that in the pre-production notes? Oh, that's my bad. I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. I found it. It's right here.
It's listed under ego.
My friends are not more funny.
Alrighty. I'm getting kind of sad now.
Hey guys, were you all talking about me?
No.
Just now?
No,
Okay, good.
no.
Good. Okay. Who are you calling a schmuck?
I said some other schmuck.
Oh, some other schmuck. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Fam, let's get to it, shall we? Boom. Let's get to Esor, baby. Shout out to Esor, man.
Aww.
Esor is the app we use to do this Bible talk. We love it because I do, because I get access to all these different translations. I can download many more if I want to. But I like it specifically because I get access with the King James Version and the Strong's Dictionary, which allows me to read words in the original language, Hebrew, Greek, Aramees, and so on. And there's so much more meaning behind them. We pretty much use it every single Wednesday, which is pretty dope. So shout out to them. Free app. Show some support. Show some love. And if you want to use it to study and read some, I highly recommend it. You can put your notes in here and highlight stuff. You'll see what we do. But anywho, we're at episode number 35, brothers. How about that? Speaking of that,
35.
35, and it's crazy because we are we're in this like deep maybe series because it's really long. We have so many notes about this. We have at least maybe 2 more episodes after today where we're gonna get to talk about this. So I'm super excited. It's dope. But shout out to Esor, man. Check him out, and we'll do some reading. So, but before that, why don't we do a little recap, because we had a really good friend, one of my best friends, Pepe, last week, and it was amazing to have him and to hear a little bit about his testimony. But Adrian, why don't you hit us with a little bit of a recap on what we've been talking about actually before we jump in?
Well, as the famous Randy Newman once sang in Toy Story, "You've got a friend in me. You got a friend in me."
Oh man, he can hear them notes, bro.
When the road looks rough ahead. Anyway,
that's it. That's it. I don't want to get a DMCA.
Okay.
Good enough.
You gotta calm down, man. You're getting all the ladies. You gotta calm down, man. You gotta calm down. You're taken. You gotta tell them.
Anyways, So we talking about friends, amigos, conmigos, right? Um, and I think one of my favorite things that we talked about last week was that even before sin entered the world, there was already a problem, and the problem was loneliness, right? We weren't made to be alone. We weren't meant to go through this world alone. God saw that immediately after he had finished making the heavens, the earth, the animals of the sky, earth, and sea. He saw Adam and said, "Hey, dude, you're lonely, and that's not cool. And sure, you got man's best friend, you got dogs, right? Or in John's case, Percy. Um, but it's still not a suitable partner. You need another human. So he made Woe Man, right? But either way, whether it's heterosexual, right, between a man and a woman, or two guys, two girls, whatever, we were meant to be in community with each other. And I mean, we spent a lot of time kind of on that last week. I'm trying to remember any other specific things, but that was the one that really stuck out to me the most, and I think kind of sets us up for today.
Boom. I think that's a great way to say it, sir. I like it. So this is where we are today, fellas. Talking about friendships. And we're going to go to part 2. So let's get right into it, shall we? Are we ready for this? We're going to be on Proverbs all day today, y'all. And we talk a little bit about what Proverbs is. So it's exciting to be in Proverbs. It's one of those Old Testament books that are just fascinating, that are amazing. That, it's crazy to see how Solomon, wrote this stuff very similar to Psalms and what David and the other psalmists wrote about. But how this is a really good, and we talked a little bit briefly about this last week. This is a really good book to kind of give you a good friendship structure. So we're gonna be doing some reading in there. So let's do that first. Let's jump into Proverbs 13. Are we ready, Mr. John Sfombly?
Of course.
Boom. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20.
Verse 20. Oh, All right. Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm.
You read it way too fast. I couldn't even highlight it. Can you read it again?
Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm.
We titled this and the next Bible verse that we're going to read, The Guide to True Friendship. Let's talk a little bit about this verse. I think it's quite simple to understand, but let's do a little brief dissection. Boom.
No, let me do it. Out of spite. Out of spite. Let me do it. Out of spite.
Okay.
No, John, you'll really appreciate this. You'll really appreciate this. Ready? Okay. As Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi once said in his old age,
right, I do
who is more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows him?
Oh, sir, my heart. You're right. It was better that you spoke first.
Fam,
making me tear up.
Oh.
I should be an actor.
That was really good.
That was really good.
That was really. Goodness. I think he deserves an Oscar for that one.
Just that one little bitty part.
You're making me cry. I was like, oh, snap.
Yeah, man, I can fake it. I was tearing up too. I know you can't see it because I have the $10 camera, but
fam, think about it this way, right? It's almost like one of those sayings that people say, right? Like, tell me who you hang out with and I'll tell you who you are, right? Tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. So obviously you can tell by a good example of what this is, right? We're friends and we do this because we are related to this. And to be quite honest, I feel like this past 35 weeks of episodes of this, I've grown.
It's been longer than that, later.
More longer than that because we missed some weeks. Yeah. That's correct. That's what correct. Say 40 weeks for the sake of time that we've been doing this. I've grown a lot more as a person because of obviously the fact that we believe in this purely and we know that God is the center, but we or myself, I have these two amazing gentlemen that I call myself my friends that have been able to build me up this last year. And so that's dope. So I feel like in this particular circle, although I'm not quite sure if John falls into this wise man scenario, but he's definitely not a fool. So today they're dropping. We're dropping them on you, John. You're gonna be the
It's true.
victim. You're gonna be the victim today. You have
It's
to.
okay.
You know, it's like I don't know if you guys short reference, but I don't know if you guys saw the tweet by Team the Tapman whenever he was talking about um bad teammates in like battle royale or team deathmatch games. He was saying, and I want to quote unquote here, right? It's gonna be preface. He's like, dude, you gotta understand something. If you are the bad player in the team, you are the core column support of the team, and here's why. You're out there with your 0.5 KD. That sounds very much like John, actually. You're
Whoa.
out there
That
farming
hurt. That hurt way more than everything else.
farming some damage, getting your one kill, right? But you're letting the other egos in the team, the other people that are really good, have somebody to blame for, have someone to bash on, and you stand up there with your 100 damage, 1 assist, 20 minutes alive, taking it for the team. You're the one that we can go to and just bash it on, because if we're all
I think
high
John's
egos,
actually crying now.
high level players, who will be to blame? You are the core of the team. That's how he said it. He put dramatical music on the background, and it became a really famous tweet. You can find it, Team the Tampman, one of the largest streamers in the world.
It's true. He's pretty
And
big.
he was talking about Warzone, and so it was pretty hilarious. A lot of people tag each other. I forgot to tag you, John. Actually, that's crew leader. I'm just saying, he's right. There's gonna be a
Straight
court. Because imagine,
savage. Straight
imagine.
savage.
Anywho, I am
So
blessed to be surrounded
targeted.
by two really wise Did I put
People,
it right?
individuals.
There you go. Boom. But two wise individuals where I can build each other up. Um,
Lauren, if you're watching, my condolences for the death of your husband by leader.
Rest in peace.
it is what it is. It is what it is. The wife
It's
goes
okay.
to
Murder.
We've been through worse.
Murder.
Straight
She's
murder.
been, he's been to worse. I don't know about you guys, but I've been blessed enough to not have been around fools that on the contrary, I think all my life I've been in a position where I've been completely blessed by people around me. There's been obviously the bad apples, but it's not like they defined who I am or they take me to a different path. But I can see how other people have. I don't know about you guys. How you guys feel about this?
Yes and no for me. I have been blessed as well. That I've always had a strong, positive, supportive, we call it like background and support system with friends and family. But definitely, when I was young and impressionable, when I was in college, I definitely made some bad decisions in order to be part of the cool group because I wanted to fit in, and that led to some very unfortunate circumstances, which were like incredibly terrible, but I did make some regrettable decisions. So you live and you learn.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you're in much better hands if you're surrounded by your wise men?
I'm still waiting for the wise men to show up, but yeah.
John, how about you, man? How you feel about this?
Yeah, I definitely had some people in my life that were bad characters. They definitely had a bad influence on me. They're actually probably one of the reasons why I only ever had like a shady period in my life. You know what I mean?
Wow. I don't know about that. But you live and learn, right?
Mhm.
It's crazy how like this basic stuff that people take for granted it's actually taken for granted. But I see it all the way around. I hate like seeing it on like movies specifically, right? You see the drug addict guy who got addicted to drugs and it's like nobody and is dying and can't get out of it because a friend of his, right, got him into it. Or people that are on the streets, robbing people and stuff. I mean, it just all that stuff doesn't happen out of nowhere. It happens around the people they're surrounded. Now that's very that you're surrounded by, but that's very superficial too. I think we can go deeper into like your spiritual life because we're all gonna sin, right? You know, and God saves the people that rob other people and also saves the drug addicts and saves me and saves these two gentlemen and saves you that are watching. It makes no difference. Sin is a sin.
Amen.
And so I feel like it goes deeper here when it talks about the specific wise man. I'm actually kind of curious what
Well, for me, I think it also has to do about awareness, right?
mhm,
Self-awareness or being taught. Because, right,
mhm,
whenever I was doing the 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 bad things, right, I didn't think, like, straight up, I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, I had a conscience, right? Growing up in a Catholic Christian upbringing, like I knew there was my conscience, my spirit that was given to me, Holy Spirit that was the residing in me was like telling me, it's like, don't do this, like, better than that. But I was like, like, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. And I think there's some people who are further along on that scale and just don't think that what they're doing is bad, or they feel like they have no other option, right? And so, like, a lot of it just comes down to that self-awareness, honestly. Like, I feel
good.
like that's a big part of it.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Let's see what else the Bible talks about this. Let's jump into Proverbs 22 because I think that'll dive in a little bit deeper into that. Chapter 22 verses 24 and 25. John, if you're there.
Yep. Make no friends with a man given to anger, nor go with a wrathful man.
25.
Oh, lest you learn his ways and entangle yourself in a snare.
Oh man. What version are you reading?
ESV.
Read it again, please. I
Of course.
for some reason I want to try. You have ESV?
hmm
ESV. Let me do ASV. Okay, read it again.
Make no friendship with a man given to anger, nor go with a wrathful man, lest you learn his ways and entangle yourself in a snare.
Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Words of the wise man. I love these passages, like poetic passages. Pretty dope. Um, I don't know if we need some kind of confirmation to like. It's crazy because it's not a confirmation. It's more like an explanation. But it's unbelievable to me that sometimes we need to hear the stuff that is a given or should be a given, right? I think we found ourselves a lot into circumstances where you're like, we cool, and you feel like you're cool, and then you're doing like a simple mistake, like making friends with people that you shouldn't, right? Now, I want to be very clear here, and I think you guys could agree with me. Being a friend versus loving someone is a big difference because we have the commandment of loving everybody and loving our neighbor, right? But that doesn't necessarily means that we're going to be friends with them, right? We need to love our enemy. That doesn't necessarily means that we're going to be friends with the enemy, right? So I think that's a pretty big difference. And so I think we, as people, tend to take that in, and sometimes we need to be reminded of the basic stuff. And I love that about the Bible. The Bible is not shy of explaining this kind of things, right? It's not shy of talking about the simple things. But man, I mean, these are literally words of the wise. That's what the title of this is. And there's a lot of stuff in here, by the way. You guys can read about it. Um, it talks about counsels and knowledge and words of truth and all this other stuff. And when it's talking about friends, is reminding us to be careful with who want to be friends. Now, again, and I want to give you the floor, John, because I know this is kind of good topic for you to talk about. How come our soul gets involved with our friends? Because it clearly says, right, on verse 25, that if we learn their ways, our soul will get snared and tangled, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's quite interesting because I think it's much deeper than just a friendship. So do you mind explaining on why this is so important, even though it seems like such a given or such a simple concept?
I think a part of who we are is our soul, right? So our soul is who we are as an individual, our character, our God-given character, right? And our spirit is our spirit, our body is our body. You know what I mean? Our physical part. And so I think what happens is there's parts of your body and your soul and parts of your spirit and your soul that overlap and touch each other, right? And so I think that's why emotions are such a big deal to humans, right? I think that's why emotions play such a big deal into our decision making, you know? And if you're learning how to enjoy anger and enjoy wrath, right? Even if it's someone else's wrath, even if it's justified wrath or anger, um, we are tainted by sin, and so that will put us into a situation where we can't handle the situation appropriately. You know what I mean? And so I think when it says, you said in yours it says it entangles your soul. Well, when you learn to be angry and you learn to enjoy anger, I had anger management issues when I was a kid. It becomes a part of who you are, right? The way you operate in life kind of revolves around it. Oh, hello. Get out of here.
The black cat strikes again.
It's Kai, our other cat. You just. All right. Anyway, yeah. I don't think I need to say any more on the topic. That's pretty much it.
I'm opening here, Easter, guys. The word snare, it's implication of a hook, ensnared or trapped. That's not good if we wanted that anger to be entangled or trapped in our soul.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
You are hitting the Star Wars points that honestly we all need.
We
All
all
of
need
us need
them.
them.
We all need them. Okay, good. I feel that's pretty good. Let's move on. Let's talk about loyalty a little bit. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 24. We're gonna read 3 verses on this, which is pretty cool. And again, it's all Proverbs, man. I love how it's like everywhere.
You said Proverbs 18, verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last verse of the chapter.
It is.
Okay.
Shoot.
Oh, I'll just read it.
Yeah, bro, go for it.
A man of many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother.
Boom, bro. By the way, this is a good chapter to read. There's some cool stuff. Like if you read verse 19, right? A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city. Wow. And such contentions are like the bars of a castle. Woo! John, did I offend you earlier today? Because then I'll have to apologize.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Man.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yikes. I'm
You're
gonna
fine,
fight.
you're fine.
I'm gonna fight this bars of a castle, bro. Now. You know, it says a man's belly shall be filled with the fruit of his mouth. So be careful what you speak. Which, by the way, I love talking about this because, you know, we're PG streamers here, and it's sad to see, you know, streamers out there, especially like Christian. Like it hurts me the most whenever Christians are out there just swearing left and right because they think it's cool. With the increase of their sleeps, they shall be satisfied. Death and life are the power in the tongue, that they that love it shall eat the fruit thereoof.
Where are you
Find
getting
it a
this?
wife. Verse 21.
The previous
18.
verses.
The previous
Oh,
verses.
oh.
Yeah, I'm highlighting it on the stream so you can
Okay,
see it.
sorry. It's really small on my screen. It's hard to see. I have a
No
terrible
worries.
computer.
No worries. And it's also really small. I wonder if I can make it bigger, I think. Actually.
Just the font.
Nope.
Oh.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's some good stuff right there.
22. Who's findeth a wife, findeth a good thing, and obtain a favor of Jehovah. Congrats, John. The poor
You're
use
welcome.
entities, but the rich answered roughly. Adrian, I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah, I know you're laughing over there. You're on your way. I think you're on your way, which is really great. Who knows? God's good. And then Proverbs 24 or 18:24, right? He that make many friends does it on his own destruction, but there's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. And I think that's dope, bro. So this is loyalty, right? Um, I could personally tell y'all that I have a handful of friends like this. You know, probably less than my 10 fingers in between both of my hands. And they are to me they're very special.
You have 10
And
fingers?
I do. Look. It's wild, right? Oh, yikes. We got a pirate over there.
I'm kidding. I don't have all my fingers. I don't know. I'm in a
Silly
weird mood.
you.
I'm so sorry. I'm
Silly
sorry,
you,
everybody.
Mr.
Sorry, everybody
Fumble.
watching this.
I'm silly you. You're fine, dude. um, I can attest for this to be a reality. I don't know about you guys. Obviously, you two fall into this kind of group, and it's interesting because I think Adrian, you've mentioned this before of how like maybe outside of this, we're not like the best, like the bestest of friends. It's not like we hang out all the time. And I think this year's been terrible. And plus, John is really far. But even so, for some reason, the connection that I have with you guys, even if it's just to this, it's much more stronger than what I have with somebody that I play games every single day. I'm not gonna throw you out there on the bus, like Fluffy or somebody or Goose or somebody who we spend a lot more time together because we're playing versus this. Not only is wise man surrounded in this like circle, but it's also like character building, supportive, loving friendships, and they do feel like a brothership to me. But I don't know about you guys, and I have a few more that are like that, but they're few. They're definitely not many, and I think the Bible's not wrong about this. Thoughts on this, guys? Adrian, throw you on the bus here.
Okay. Um, I mean, I love my little brother and leader. I know, um, that you had a brother as well, and I don't know what your relationship in history was, but I do have a little brother. He is 13 years younger than me, and I guess because of the age gap, like growing up, we weren't as close. We're getting closer now that we can actually have, I guess, a little bit more, not like grown up conversations, but like I can relate to him a little bit more rather than like, oh yeah, like that toy is really cool. But like now he's like asking me about like college stuff, about like finances, like the man, he loves shoes, and so like it's a little bit more, grown up kind of conversations, and so like I feel like I'm getting closer to him like now than when he was younger, because like I was, in college and he was still like in elementary school, and of course like we have very like love, you know um shallow kind of brotherhood, and I still loved him. I would still do anything for him. I'd take a bullet, jump on a grenade, whatever. But I guess in verse 24, if we're specifically looking at this, right, there's a friend who sticks closer than a brother. For me, to be a friend, to have friendship is a type of relationship where you choose the person, you choose your friend, right, and then your friend also chooses you back, right? So you have decided, you've made a mental effort to make this relationship work. And like it's a whole different subject where we talk about like how long friendships last, whether it's like a season, a year, whatever. um and there are friendships who like are close and then like fade and then come back, right? So that's a whole other thing. I don't know if that's one of our episodes coming up, but maybe it will. But for me, it's one of those things when you choose a friend and when a friend chooses you, sometimes that bond is closer than blood, because sometimes, right? And I'm sure, a lot of listeners out there, maybe you don't have the best relationship with your family. Maybe you have a brother or a sister and that's all they are to you. Like you are just related to them. But you have a friend, that is your confidant, someone that you lean on, that you talk to, that you trust. and that bond is stronger than blood, in my opinion. And sometimes it can be the same. Like sometimes you can have a sibling that is also your best friend, or you have a spouse, a wife, a husband that is your best friend, right? And that sometimes I believe is stronger than blood.
Your confidant. Do you hear that, John? Fancy
Well,
word.
yep. Great word.
Confidant.
Confidant.
He also said it with an accent, so it's pretty great.
I don't know what kind of accent, but it was an
I
accent.
don't know, but it was not what I'm used to hearing, and it sounded really
True.
cool, and I want to be cool like him.
Confidant.
Confidant.
I'm pretty sure it's like French. It's the French derivative of like your entrusted person, your confidant.
You're confident.
Confidant. Proverbs 19, chapter 6, Mr. Jones Fumbly.
Many seek the favor of a generous man, and everyone is a friend to a man who gives gifts.
Where are my gifts, players? What are y'all sending me
You're-
over?
You're not wearing it; it's on your shelf.
Problem B about to be fixed.
Problem C, though, is that I don't have a hat. So
I need your mailing address.
I got you, bro. I'm not going to say it over the internet, though, because,
Why?
I
Why
don't want-
wouldn't you?
I don't want. Oh, my. Get off my feet. Why are you doing that? Get out of here.
It's not me.
know-
I promise. I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry.
My wife goes, one of my favorite relationships to look is between John and Jesus.
Thank you.
John,
Honestly,
John's
me too.
fumbling and Jesus.
Me too. I love my relationship with Jesus.
How's your relationship with Jesus, John?
Oh, it's
This is great.
It's good. Yeah, it's good.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
It's getting
Good.
better every day.
Good.
Yeah, there
Now,
was a
you guys
big
play,
divide
like,
for a little
soccer
while, and then
together. Like, is this Jesus?
Do y'all fight a lot? Like, what's the deal?
Do you and
Really?
Jesus play video
not
games?
really. He just kind of vibes, and then sometimes I just like run away from him for no reason, and then come back, and then he's just always there, always there. Don't
John, why
yell
are
at
you
Lauren like
yelling at
that.
Lauren?
First of all, I did not yell at Lauren. I never yell at Lauren. To this
What if
day,
Lauren
me and
just
Lauren
wanted-
have not yelled at each other. Two,
What
that's
if
not how you
Lauren
spell
just
Lauren.
wanted to cuddle with
okay.
your feet?
All right, it's a Y, not an E. All right, so
Okay.
check yourself before you wreck yourself, Goyle.
There it is, fellas. John's fumbly. Proverbs 27.
It was a cat. It was a cat. It wasn't Lauren. It was a cat.
Yeah, it was a cat.
It was
a
the
cat.
cat's nose on my foot. It was really cold.
No. It
Not
was
Lauren.
Lauren cuddling with John's feet.
It was Lauren's nose on my foot. It's also cold, actually, so that'd be funny.
Proverbs 27, 9 and 10, Mr. John's fumbly.
All right, what am I reading? 19 verses.
Proverbs 27,
27.
verse 9 and 10. And good
Look at the
morning
pre-show
to you.
notes.
I got you.
Pre-show notes.
Oil and perfume. Hold on, calm down, guys. Oil and perfume make the heart glad, and the sweetness of a friend comes from his earnest counsel. Do not forsake your friend and your father's friend, and do not go to your brother's house in the day of your calamity. Better is a neighbor who is near than a brother who is far away.
Oh, snappity. Holla. What? The sweetness of a man's friend comes of hearty counsel. What a dope phrase, bro. Just like oil and perfume. By the way, guys, this is not... Back in the day, oil was a big deal to like clean yourself, and like it's like a moisturizer, and like it was for your feet, and it was a big deal because they were dirty back then.
Still is.
And the perfume was like the expensive, like not like nobody could afford it, just a few. It was like a big deal. So, just know that. But how amazing how Solomon describes it is, right? So doth the sweetness of a man's friend that comes of hearty counsel. And I love that. I've been I've taken first dibs at this many times in my life with people that are wise, that give that counsel that you need, and then it becomes something so very special, man. Have you guys had like one of those times that you're like either in such a hole, or you're like great, and then next thing you know, like your friend comes to you, a friend of yours, and smacks you in the butt and makes you realize that you're not where you should be, or gives you the push, or takes you out of the hole, right? Or fill in the blank, to where it makes your heart sweet. I've had that happen many times, as of recent, and that's very special. And by the way, very simple, right? Better is a neighbor that is near than a brother that is far off. That is wild, bro. That is wild. It's a part B or C of Proverbs 27:10, right? Let's talk a little bit about that, Mr. John.
You have a question, good sir?
Yeah, just loving the face, bro. You're like, yeah. You're like, you're ready for this, dude. um.
That's my focus up, John. Look.
So this is the topic of this is loyalty, right? I love verse 27, how it talks about even the father's friend, right? Like it goes deep. Like this is talking about the kind of relationship that you have, and the importance of it. What would you say, or how do you say that one can go about having this kind of relationships with someone that matters, or somebody that will be good to have a relationship with, that is not Christ, obviously. Let's talk a little bit about the physical side of it.
Okay. Well, so I think 10 is actually probably my favorite of the two that we've read here. Do not forsake your friend and your father's friend, right? So obviously, when you forsake somebody, you cut off all relations with them. You no longer associate yourself with them, right? Your father if they have a really good relationship and you maintain that relationship, the favor that that friend has for your father will fall upon you. You know what I mean? Because you're his son or daughter or anything, right? Like that's a big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, do not go to your brother's house in the day of your calamity. Better is a neighbor who is near than a brother who is far away, right? So I guess let's put ourselves into a mindset of back in the time, right? So back in this time, you are, let's say that you're like Abraham, right? You have money, you have some cattle, you're kind of doing your thing, right? You're pretty wealthy, right? If someone is near you and near enough to call your neighbor, and they haven't been trying to take your cattle, take your land, take your slaves, not actively aggressive towards you, and you guys live in peace near each other, that's a big deal. You know what I mean? Oftentimes, you want to make friends with the people that are nearest to you because you don't want to have those kinds of issues. You know what I mean? Because that's how you gain even back in this time. And so, yeah, it's just that's a big deal. Why would you go to your brother who's far away, who's obviously disconnected himself, right? So, like Abraham and Lot, right? They settled near each other and they maintained a relationship with each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, right? Those are the right names. Okay,
Yes.
I know Lot. That's Abraham's brother, right? Yeah, yeah. And so that's a big deal. You know what I mean? They maintained a friendship. They settled near each other. They spent time near each other. They trusted each other, and they didn't have issues with each other, right? And so if your brother intentionally leaves the area and moves to a faraway area, then he's not trying to maintain a relationship with you, a sibling relationship with you anymore. You know what I
Which,
mean?
by the way, that happened at some point, right, with Abraham and Lot. Actually, they're like, Lot
Yeah.
was like, "Bro, I want the rich side of the river because I want to feed my cattle," and Abraham was like, "Okay, fine, I'll go this way and you go that way," and that's how Lot
Mm-hmm.
ended up in Sodom and Gomorrah,
Yep.
and Abraham ended up on the good side of things, which is pretty impressive, actually. That's a great example. I didn't even think about that, John.
Yep.
Way to hit it in
So
the head, dude.
it's in my brain somewhere. God just pulls it out, I guess, as I need it. Thank him. Thank God. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And then oil and perfume makes the heart glad, and the sweetness of a friend comes from his earnest counsel. I think when you have a truly good friend, right? Like I have a best friend, right? His name is David. And when he sees something going on in my life that I need to work on, and he's like, "Hey, man, look," and it's not for his benefit, right? It might even be a negative for him because I might hurt our relationship. You know what I mean? Because he's trying to correct me. You know, if he earnestly comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, you need to fix this," that's a big deal because he sees something that's wrong and he's trying to help. You know what I mean? Regardless of if it's a positive or negative for him. You know what I mean? Anytime you have a friend like that, that's someone that's worth holding on to.
Amen to that. Proverbs 16, verse 28. That was a great example, John. Now I kind of want to read about Abraham a lot because I
We
forgot
should.
about that. That was a good, that's a good, relationship progress thing because they were pretty tight and then they got
Mhm.
separated and then Abraham goes back to Lot and saves him. Not saves him,
Or
but embraces him after
Mhm.
after God burns the whole. But that's a whole other story that we can
what
talk
was
about. It's pretty crazy.
what was the name of the son that brought everybody to Egypt? Um,
Joseph.
yeah, Joseph is a good example of poor relationships with family,
Yep, that's
right?
a great
And
example
then
because
it's
they
a
sold
great
him.
example. Yeah,
They
yeah.
sold them right to the
And then
to the Egyptians, and then
yes, and then it's a great example of showing how hard work can be a good testimony to those around you because you end up building a really good relationship with the king,
yep,
right? And for the king to trust you enough to put you in charge of,
a foreigner, mind you, a slave
yeah,
foreigner
yes,
who was accused of adultery and having sex with
with one of his officials,
one of his officials. That imagine, bro. Imagine what would have happened in today's world, bro. That's wild, dude.
right?
And
That's a
mind
big
you,
deal.
this was the biggest empire in the world back then. The
Hmm.
Egyptians were
Yep,
it. They had the Nile River, the pyramids,
yep.
a lot of land to.
Well,
Wow, that's a big deal. Well, anyhow,
yep.
we can talk about that all day, but
Okay, so
two solid
16, what?
points. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Proverbs 16, verse 28.
28. A dishonest man spreads strife, and a whisperer separates close friends.
Mm, 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 mm.
Oh, hold on. A man of violence entices his neighbor and leads him away. That is not good. Literally
Oof.
just what we were talking about.
Mm. Um, AI, I heard you're a good gossiper. How's that going for you?
Honestly,
Oh,
bro.
no.
All right, hold up.
That was totally a joke, but he was so ready for it, dude.
Listen, it's actually been quite problematic
That's
Oh
funny.
man, sorry, I didn't mean to
because,
say like, but you were so ready for it. That's crazy.
like, here's the thing. You see, what had happened was,
What had
What
happened
happened
was,
what had
was,
happened was,
let
what
me tell
happened
you
was,
some.
let me tell you a story, son.
sometimes the the gossiper, right, can be tempted for being trusted. For some reason, people like to come to me and they like to tell me dirty little secrets or things that they find out or whatever. And sometimes I think, oh man, like for the good of the community or whatever, I should confront this uh allegation or this rumor or whatever and try to fix it, even though it has nothing to do with me. People just tell me things and I'm like, let me fix it, right? Because I'm a man, I fix things, cook barbecue and fix things. But I've
Like
actually,
dogs.
yeah, totally,
Spade and neuter
right,
your pets, children.
man. um But what's funny is funny that you call me out, leader, because my personal New Year's resolution is speak and think kindly.
Oh, no
It's
kidding!
right here on my computer monitor.
Wow.
Bars. Bars.
Because thank you. Because yeah, like I sometimes, right, the I forget which verse it is. John, you might be better at this, but like
Oh, probably not.
there's just saying that when you gossip, right, is just as bad as committing murder, right? Because you're murdering that person's reputation. You're murdering the essence of who that person is. So you might as well be actually murdering them. And so, Jesus, I again, like, I'm not the best when it comes to like quoting verses, but there is, it does say like in the gospel that like, gossiping is on the same level as killing someone, which might not make sense for a lot of people, but when you really think about it and you pray about it and you destroy someone's reputation, someone's public image, it's sometimes it's harder to recover from that. So yeah,
Good stuff.
And
so
it is true.
I'm trying to speak and think kindly, not just of like others, but also like for myself. Like it's also like a self reaffirmation, a self affirmation kind of thing.
Self-actualization, sir.
Just visualize your goals.
Visualize and then project.
Yep, exactly. So it's for myself, but it's also like speak
We're
and
gonna get
think
in so much
kindly
trouble.
of others. So, way to call me out, leader.
Appreciate
Thanks.
it, man. That was great. That was excellent. I was totally joking, and I'm glad that you took it over.
Ooh,
Man.
That was the Holy
MVP.
Spirit. That was the
Yo!
arrow
What's
of
up, bro?
truth being shot off from leader all the way across the screen and hitting me in the
Meliodas.
face.
Yo, OMG is back, baby.
We
Hey,
did. We missed you.
WMG.
You fell asleep. Oh, that's me.
Well, he's
That's me,
he's
bro.
in the UK,
It's also
right?
like
So
4:30 in the morning in
it's
England right now.
it's so different hours, but
Yeah,
glad
but
to have
like,
you back, buddy.
I'm pretty sure that happened once. I'm pretty sure that I fell asleep once, and that's why I missed this. Once.
Well, yeah, that is correct. Once you have
Pretty
missed
sure
like that,
once
so it's
I did do
okay.
that.
It's okay.
And it was like 9. Like, sorry, keep going.
Proverbs 17, verse 9, because we gotta finish this. OMG, you just came into the tail end of it. You just missed a really good episode, and we're on the
It's
last
true.
verse. But let's get to it.
You said 17 verse 19?
Verse 9.
Oh, 9. Whoever covers an offense seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates close friends. Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Eesh. Um, bro, like that. This is one of those things, man, that I feel is like an elephant in the room from time to time. Because, like, think about it this way, right? What if I'm the kind of friend who gossips a little bit? Not a crazy ton, but I'm the guy, and I'm the guy in the group, right? And everybody knows, oh yeah, that's leader's the guy, dude. And I am like the way that this Bible verse is shaped to talk about this is God knows that we're like the necessity of a friendship is because we're alone or we're empty. And we have a constant need for love all the time. And I love how small things can either jeopardize that or build rapport for that, right? Or build you up. And I also love how we can forgive each other, but also you can, like, there's two sides of the coin, right? You can forgive everybody forever, but also you know how that's like, so you probably don't trust that person as much, or you don't, right? If I'm the gossiper in the group, yeah, you can love me, we can be friends, but it's not going to be the same, right? It's not like another friendship of yours that you know that is much more based on love and respect for one another, even though you forgive those transgressions, right? I love how the little things like this can potentially separate friends, and we got to be very careful about that, right? um I think it happens all the time, right? I see it everywhere, like, you see it in shows, bro, like, oh yeah, I want to date your ex, like the best friends, right? And dating the ex-girlfriend of the best friend now, and how that's a big deal. And the little things, bro, right? The little things where you're just, it could be so complicated. But the thing that makes it worse is if we don't stop it, if we're feeding into the fire, right? Because we can forgive, but constant transgressions are difficult to manage, and to the point where it costs big. We titled this last two Bible verses, "Spreading Secrets is Bad for a Good Friendship." And I think, Adrian, you had a really good comment about that. You're a very trustworthy person. I think it's a good example. You're easy to talk to, and you're loving as a whole. Hence why people come to you to talk about things, right? Now you're in a position where you want to shed the love for others and also be very careful with what's been said and also help them, right? Not to repeat transgressions. So it's a tough spot to be in. I'm not that kind of friend, to be quite honest. I don't think I'm really good at it. But it's basic stuff. And it could potentially destroy friendships. So I don't know. That's kind of my 2 cents on this. Kind of complicated. I might have done it. I might have overly complicated, but again, I love it's the little things, right? We're talking about the secrets of being good friends, and there's so many. Like we read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different Bible verses across Proverbs that say things that are this big, that matter that much in friendship. And like that's the thing, man. I don't know. That's the way that I see it. How do y'all see it? Nobody?
John can go first.
Oh, I
John.
see it. Yeah. I see things. I see all kinds of things. I see that thing that we're talking about. I don't know what the question is. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what I'm supposed to be saying right now.
I was kind of curious of, I guess, more of like the thought of friendship being like a puzzle, right?
Okay.
And like it feels like, and I don't know, this is just me, but almost feels like if you miss one of those pieces, you can jeopardize your relationship, right? We talk about love, we talk about loyalty, we talk about forgiveness, we talk about not spreading secrets. So although a friendship might seem like something that's actually easy, it's probably not. It's a lot of little moving pieces. I don't know. That's just me, but I want to hear your thoughts from a biblical standpoint, right?
No, yeah. So I would agree with a lot of what you said. So I think right off the bat, if you don't have biblical principles in your life, it's going to be harder to build true friendships, right? I think a
Why
lot
is
of
that?
people.
Why is that?
The reason why, well, I mean, lots of people can build truly good friendships, right? But oftentimes there's biblical background or history there, right, that enables them to understand that putting an effort into a relationship is worth it, right? That if you are only a friend with someone for what you can get out of it, right, IG or being like good feelings, stuff, time, whatever, right? Like if you're only there to get stuff out of them, then they're really not a friend. You know what I mean? And then all friendships are hard. All true friendships are hard. All relationships are hard. And so when you are friends with someone and it starts getting hard, you don't want to stay. You want to bail. You know what I mean? If you're only there to get things. And so I think with biblical principles, a lot of people understand that there's more to life than just getting things. There's giving, right? There's giving emotionally, there's giving mentally, there's giving conceptually. And so someone who has biblical background is going to understand that and probably would have experienced some of the richness of biblical Christian based relationships.
That's a solid point. Adrian, what are your thoughts on it, dude?
I'm gonna save mine for final thoughts. I feel I was hit with a.
Well, I mean, to be honest,
gotta
we're kind of there. I
That's
mean,
true.
it is.
It has
We
been an hour
will.
and 4 minutes.
We will run this too long, so let's just do that. Let's do your final thoughts then.
So okay, well then, final thoughts. Based on what we just talked about, having friendships based on faith, based on a mutual love for, the Bible and Jesus, and kind of the discipleship that the three of us share. For me, it's a lot like how relationships and marriages and what that is based on, what is the foundation, right? Like, because ultimately a lot of it is similar, right? Like you choose a spouse, they have to choose you back. With friends, it's the same thing, just without, maybe a little bit more or a little bit less of the intimate stuff. I don't know, but there's some bromances out there that are, I don't know, a little bit that are way more intimate than their relationships with their spouses. But anyways, I digress.
Solid
Yeah.
point.
Right. But it's still, the principle is still the same. Like, you choose them and they have to choose you back, and it has to be based on, a mutual thing, right? So you can have friendships, right? In a fraternity in college. I was in a fraternity, right? I was super close. I call these guys brothers. We did a lot together, including partying, studying, all that stuff. We cried together over, girls. We cried over, being drunk, whatever, like, but then once we graduated, it's like, hey, like, how's it going? Cool. How's it going? Great. And then, like, months go by, right? And then would I still consider them like brothers? Would I still do, what would I do? If they needed a favor, would I, answer the call? Absolutely. But right, it's when the fraternity, is gone, when the college experience is gone, then it's, it's almost, I don't want to say that they're like now acquaintances, but I don't know, what they're doing half the time. It's half of my fault, right? I can reach out, I can text, I can call and see how they're going, but it's the foundation of that said relationship is no longer present, right? And so if you have drinking buddies and all of a sudden your drinking buddy goes sober or decides that he doesn't want to go to the bar anymore, are you still friends, right? And so when you have a relationship, whether that's friends, whether that's a spouse, that is based on something that is immovable, like as the gospel is, right? It is timeless, it is immovable. That is the strongest foundation that you can base a relationship on, right? And because it's never going to go away. It's been around for thousands of years. It's going to be around for thousands of years. So if your friendship is based on that, then it's going to be as timeless as the gospel itself, which is pretty awesome.
You did an incredible job tonight on that, Adrian. I was kind of left speechless a little bit. Not gonna lie.
For real.
Well, thank you.
I don't know. All I can see is friendship part 2 and part 3. But if we absolutely 100% have to talk about what you build your relationships on.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely have to do that.
I just hear Lauren say, yeah.
He's talking to other people, but let's just take it. Yeah.
Notes that I have still here for following weeks, guys. How deep a friendship can go.
Okay.
Friendships are more like a covenant rather than a contract, which is a pretty big deal. We'll talk about that. That's pretty impressive. Friendship is the goal of the gospel, which is crazy. We'll talk about the cross is the most heroic act of friendship. Big amen to that. Jesus is our true friendship, and friendship with God and one another is our greatest joy. I think we're gonna hit that on the very last one.
Perfect.
Mr. Jones fumbling, I think it's a big deal. But I do agree. Yeah. I do agree. I don't see a friendship happening any other way. And I actually believe that friendships outside of without no foundation, they're so shallow, bro. I feel like they could be like money driven or like feelings driven, right? I need like a emotional buddy to cry on, and you just gotta they're just so shallow, bro.
Well, even the idea of building relationships on a foundation is a biblical principle, right? And so earlier when I said that you having a biblical background is going to give you an advantage in building relationships, that's 100%. Even understanding that one concept will enable you to proactively build foundations, and then if that foundation's crumbling, to rebuild it on a different foundation, even if it's not Christ. You know what I mean? Understanding that's pivotal in building relationships with others. That's not my final thing. No.
Okay, no. Go take it. If you want
Jesus Christ designed you with a relationship in mind. Okay, the perfect relationship, and that was a relationship with us and God. Okay. We do bad things and we fall out of that relationship of our own power. Then we run into other people, into other relationships, and that just leads us back to the brokenness that we find ourselves in because we're not in the perfect relationship with Christ. The perfect solution to that problem is believing and trusting that Christ died on the cross for your sins and that he wants to build a relationship with you because he loves you. But sometimes there's things in our lives that get in the way of that, right? So recognition of our wrongdoing and then repentance, which is a correction of course towards the gospel, will enable us to start building our relationship with Christ more effectively, right? So it's good to believe in your heart that Jesus Christ died for your sins, that he was a real man, and to profess with your mouth that he really did that. Then once you do that, you're going to find yourself back in God's intentional design, which is a relationship with him, which enables you so much more in life. It saves you from hell and enables you to be in a consistent relationship with him for the rest of your life.
Where's
Speed
my
run,
mic?
baby.
Where's my mic?
Speed run, baby.
My mic is over
Timing.
there.
We should time it at the end every time.
Chat, they left me speechless at both of them. And both of them are very right, I think.
Speaking
You
of
can agree.
speechless, so was chat. I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah,
guys.
chat, you sucked today. Let's be real.
Whoa, calm down.
I mean, what? What?
They're busy. They're busy doing things. Agreed.
OMG
What are you
agreed.
agreeing with?
He agreed that they suck. Just kidding, though. He agreed with what you said, John. I think.
I hope. I really do hope.
Fam, we love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with you guys or with us
I
tonight.
was late. I have excuses.
Yeah.
It's true. He's in a completely different time zone. The fact that he even showed up is commendable
Amazing.
and appreciated.
Yeah, OMG, you're very cool, dude.
In
Thank
the
you so much for being with
early,
us.
in the wee
Thank you.
hours of the morning.
Chat, you all know what time it is. It is Discord time, baby. Discord time. John is about to ping you guys over there. He's gonna talk you guys in. He's gonna let you know that we're about to jump in. Travis should be ready. What's up, Miss Aquagon? Hottie. Boom. What's she saying?
Hello.
I'm really
Oh, hey,
late.
Lauren.
I will definitely rewatch this tomorrow. Okay, good, Lauren. Good.
Thanks, Lauren.
But we can't wait to see you guys next week.
You should.
Wednesdays, 9
Your
p.m.
husband got murdered on this episode, Lauren. You should watch
At
it.
the beginning, then there was a lot of love.
I did.
pouring
I
in.
was butchered unfairly. I wasn't even given fair trial. I was just demolished. Talk about assassinating character over here.
0.5 KD Jones Fumbly, everybody. 0.5 100 damage.
Leader
every
has
game.
license to kill, John. So
He pulled some wise words out of the Bible of Twitch, which it was
that's blasphemy, John.
the book
That
of
is
Tim the
blasphemy.
Tap
That's
Man,
blasphemy.
Book Tim the Tap Man,
chapter
that's correct.
5, verse 666.
And Lauren is looking forward to watching you get slaughtered.
She is. Anytime
Burned
she
at
can-
the stake.
I'm a perfect husband. Okay, so anytime she can get a chance to see me fail, she'll take it.
Fab, you didn't hear the last 5 minutes of this show. You don't have to. We love you. We'll see you next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central, with a third part of Friends probably like a long 6-episode series or something. We also love you. Thank you for hanging out with us. We missed you chatting a lot on chat today, but that's okay. We can't wait to see you guys next week. And until then, see ya.